Download the AllStar app. Make your picks for UFC fights, challenge your friends, level up and win prizes. Link in description. Get it now.
Max Holloway talks about lightweight, and then he also talks about the Korean Zombie. Sicko, which one would you want?
Korean Zombie. Give Max what he wants. They both want to fight each other. Make it happen. I know everyone remembers Korean Zombie, Volkanovski, how that fight looked. And, it doesn't do anything for Max in terms of rankings and how much better we think he is. But he's already proven that. We all know right now Max is second best in the division. So there is nobody else. So if he wants to take a Korean Zombie, give him that fight. I like it. Make it happen. It's two guys who have been in this game for this long and somehow have never fought each other. I think it's perfect for him. If you go up to lightweight, it's like, all right, well, what are the aspirations there? Does he fight somebody where a ranking is going to matter? Does he fight somebody up and thinking about a run at lightweight? For me, it just makes more sense to do Korean Zombie.
Korean Zombie. Do you agree, J-Spec? Do you want to see the Korean Zombie, the shell of Korean? Like, think about like what you're talking about. Like, where is Max right now in his career? And where is the Korean Zombie in his career? Like, let's think about that deep. I know the matchup sounds beautiful and it looks great on a poster, and the main event. I agree. Like, I agree that I want to see the fight, but is it the best fight for the Korean Zombie to like usher out the door? You know what I mean? Like, because he very, very, very like close to like leaving, right? Like his career is very close to an end. You guys gotta understand with the Korean Zombie, like he's gone through the same surgeries as TJ Dillashaw with his shoulders, both of them.
Wow.
And and his shoulder keeps popping out, just like TJ Dillashaw. And from what I heard, the reason why he pulled out of the fight with Giga Chikadze was the shoulder. So what do you do for him? Like, you give him Max Holloway, especially 5 rounds. Max Holloway might kill the Korean Zombie. Like, we might see the first death in the UFC in the cage, which I don't want. You know what I mean? Like, he will beat the shit out of the Korean Zombie. And I love the Korean Zombie. I'm Korean, man. Like, why would I not support one of my peoples, right? But Max Holloway will beat the shit out, like literally, like he will be doo-dooing in his pants by the end of that fight and drooling. Like, this will be a bad thing, right? Like, but the thing is, the UFC, they will put that together because they're sick.
Oh yeah.
They're very sick, right? They're very sick, and
they're
all about money.
Ever cared?
Yeah, like I think that's a goal of the new management. Like, that's, think about all the things they've accomplished. They've never got a guy to shit their pants and like from getting punched. Obviously, there's the Romero incidences and other grappling greasing incidents, but let's all jokes aside, Zombie and Max, no matter what year it is, it's great. Like, let's do it because of all those things you just said, JHK. Like, it's not going to be great. The odds are against Korean Zombie in that regard. Like, it's not great for Zombie fans at this time. But if his career is really over or near the end, which I think it is, I fully agree. I can't see how it's not. He's high mileage. And all of that being said, give him an opponent where, like you said, the poster's fucking great and everybody's going to want to watch. And like, let Zombie's final fight be Zombie-esque. Let him show his toughness. The worst compliment we got, right? Let fucking Zombie be Zombie for us one last fucking time. Even because we're not under some kind of thinking, and I don't think anyone's thinking that Zombie's gonna be running for the title soon. So like, just give him a fucking fight against the best name that makes sense. Volkanovski makes no sense. So the very next best name for Zombie, for respect, for martial arts pride, for why not, for old school, for the names, all of it. And being a little bit of a business guy, like, just think about it from the promoters. I don't know if Steel Sickle's line, promoter's hat now. I mean, it's a good draw. It's a good ass draw. So why not?
Yeah, if you're sick, right? If you're sick and you're the promoter, yes, you put that fight together. And Sicko's agreeing he wants that fight.
Guilty.
And a lot of fans, they want that fight, right? Because Max deserves what he wants. And I think the Korean Zombie, he's been saying that he wants Max Holloway. He's
Why
been
not?
saying he wants that fight. And he knows that that fight will get him paid as well. And I don't see, you see, the thing is, like, I don't like say like a fighter should retire, but if the fighter is talking about retirement and then they want a fight that they want to retire with, you give it to them, right?
And that's the thing. If it was not Zombie calling out Max, then that would completely change the narrative for me. But they're both wanting that fight. And if it doesn't make sense to you in terms of where they're at or title aspirations or where that puts you, I say this a lot, Rob. You're going to know this line, man. I say it all the time. The UFC is a sport. Secondly, it is an entertainment company first. And as long as it's entertaining, they're going to make it happen.
Yeah. And the thing is, from my sources, they won't put on a UFC event in Korea unless the Zombie is headlining that show. So
makes sense.
what would be, and there's so many Max Holloway fans in Korea as well, right? So like that would be a crazy main event. Even the Korean Zombie, just him being in the main event would sell tickets. It would sell out an arena. But with Max Holloway as well, even when Brian Ortega came over, like there was a lot of interest, right? Even though he didn't fight because he pulled out, but there was a lot of interest in that fight as well. You know what I mean? Because I remember going to the press conference and everything. Yeah. So Max Holloway, Korean Zombie in Korea later this year would be great. Main event. There's a lot of Korean fighters. There's a lot of Asian fighters that could be on that card. And they did cancel a card earlier this year because of the Zombie pulling out, right? It shows you the power that he has, right? Not the power that he has, but the drawing power that he has within Korea. And I think if they do a farewell fight for the Korean Zombie, you have to have it in Korea, dude. Like you cannot put it in Australia. You cannot put it in the US. You put it in Korea.
I would love to say that, but the way Dana White has been admitting all of the mess ups, the screw ups that the UFC has been doing lately, I could see them not having it in Korea, to be honest with you. It would be just crazy, but I can see that.
Even if they do it in Singapore, like just do it in Asia or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Korea would be the perfect location. But if it's not, it's not, whatever. You know what I mean? But the thing is, I like to see, because that fight might not happen and it might not even materialize. I like to see Max, since he's in his prime right now, to go chase after that lightweight title. I think he should I think he should drop everything at featherweight and just go to lightweight. Because why not do it now and see if you can get close? Because the thing is, Max will jump in and he'll jump into the top 10. Guaranteed he'll get a top 10 because we already went up there and fought Dustin Poirier for the interim title, right? And he lost, but I don't think that's a lightweight Max Holloway.
No.
You need to make a lightweight version of Max Holloway.
Yes.
I think once you make a lightweight version of Max Holloway, give him some time to get bigger, to get used to the body, and then fight. I think there's a couple of fights in the top 10 that will be really good and maybe even like catapult him into like the title talk immediately if he does win the fight. There's two fights that I like to see. The first fight is Justin Gaethje. I think Justin Gaethje versus Max Holloway, a lightweight Max Holloway, would be a fire fight, especially the styles that they bring. I know Gaethje has the power probably advantage, but I don't know. He's smarter fighter now, man. I think, and at lightweight maybe it will be different. And another fight that I like to see before he walks away, and I know he's been talking about, I don't want to go to lightweight unless it's two options, right? It's a title fight or it's Conor McGregor. But I would like to see him fight RDA. I think that would be a good matchup with him. RDA is sitting at number 8 or number 9 in the rankings. That would be actually a better fight for Max Holloway. What do you guys think?
I will jump in and say I like the idea of him moving to lightweight only if like it doesn't seem, I guess it's starting to seem like the only possibility is him and Volk again. Like it seems like the more they separate from their herd, the more this kind of makes sense. Because I agree with your statement earlier that a fourth fight with Volk makes no sense. So then it starts to be like, yeah, what are we gonna do? I want to say that I'm curious on how long it will take for him to become a legitimate lightweight, because when we seen him fight Dustin, that shit wasn't close because not the technique, the striking element, the power, the size difference between the two men, it was so definitive. So I'm just worried about how long this is going to really take to be a good full-figured Max in this lightweight class, because I mean, just the body type is just kind of, it's going to be weird for me to see him put on that kind of muscle. He's going to have to get quite bigger. I'm just saying, at 31 and a half.
Volk did it.
Volk was a way bigger man earlier in life.
I know,
You know?
but Volk did it. You know what I mean? I think if Volk can do it, you get the right scientists around you. You know what I mean? If you get the right
how long does it
dietitian,
take? How long does it take for him?
it takes like a good 6 months or something like that, right? I think Volk took around that much time where he kind of altered his training and his diet and all that stuff, and he looked like he was doing really well against, you know, arguably an unbeatable lightweight, right, in Islam, which looked beatable against Volk. So, Sicko, what do you think?
I like it, especially the Gaethje fight. You talk about damage. There's damage delight between those two guys, man. You want to test Max's chin? Justin Gaethje's the guy that'll test Max's chin for sure. I like it, especially if it's a 5-rounder, man. That fight would be really exciting. The RDA fight to me sounds great too. I mean, I'm definitely tuning in. Anything that Max takes at that lightweight, I would tune in. I'd be interested in. But I really like the Justin Gaethje. The problem is that weight class, to me, wouldn't it just be so great if Yair goes in there and shocks everybody and beats Volkanovski? Then we could get some movement in that division. I know it's a long shot. I know everyone's like, oh, if you think Yair could win, you're crazy. Even Max said it himself.
No, you're not
man,
crazy.
Don't sleep on Yair. Even Max said it. Don't sleep on him. He's tricky. He's weird. He throws kicks from angles. Go back and watch the second fight between Max and Volk. Max gave him a lot of problems with different kicks. I don't know if Volk has ever faced a kicker to the pedigree of Yair. Like, if there's one spot trying to find his head, trying to wrestle him, all those things, it's going to fail. But when I think about Yair and attacking the legs, attacking the body with different types of kicks and how fast he is, who knows, man? And if that happens, then we start getting movement. I think if that happens, then forget about any of those guys going to lightweight. Let lightweight handle their own stuff out. Volk, Max, all of them all of a sudden start having things to do with their own division. I think that, best case scenario, Yair finds a way to get it done.
Yeah, that's best case. So I think you sit back. Max has, he has options. He sits back, watches how that plays out, and picks, what he needs to do. I think Max, he needs to make the move this year. He has to. Either he decides, because when you get up there in age, you don't want to get up there in age too late and try to chase for the second title, right? And that's why Volk was he was chasing after Islam like he was, because he knows he doesn't have many years left, and he's older than Max, and he doesn't have many years left to get the big fights. So he's just like, I gotta go chase these big fights, and if I don't get it, then I'll go back to defending the title. And I agree with you. I think Yair's he's gonna be difficult in the way of the diversity of strikes that he throws. That Volk. Of course I favor Volk in every matchup, right? But Yair does have some power, and he does have a Rubik's cube of movement and strikes, and he has the speed as well. So you can't take him lightly. But the thing is, Volk has the wrestling, and you might see that in that fight. Well, we're not talking about that fight though. We'll talk about that fight in the future. But that's what we see for Max.